Today we are in Torquay, one of my favourite places in the whole world, on the surf coast of Victoria. We've taken the Jayco JPOD Outback down for a spin. We've gone for surf down at Bells. This thing is awesome. It's got heaps of storage. It's got roof racks on the top where you can put your boards. It's got a pull-out kitchen. It's just awesome. It's really easy to move around as well. I love it. And we're hanging out with Craig Boots Garrard, who is a legend in the area in the field of surf innovation in making surfboards, and it's really great chatting to him and finding out all about the ins and outs of surf culture down here. Now, I grew up coming down to Torquay as a kid, and like the rest of Australia, we all head to the coast for the holidays, but you're here permanently. What do you do to get off the grid?
Well, it's funny that you'd think that like we just like to hang here, but we end up going further afield where it's a little quieter because Torquay's changed a lot in the last few years. We love camping, surfing, fishing. So a little while ago we had a year off and travelled around Australia and did the hot lap, and we just love the Ningaloo Reef up on the northwest WA. Fantastic.
Were you? Did you go in a camper or a
We had a large. I thought to myself we needed a decent caravan, so we had a Jayco Expander, the biggest one they do,
right.
And that was our home for a whole year.
And what were like Ningaloo Reef? Where was
Ningaloo, some of the great places for surfing around the Ningaloo Reef, Nalu. Other beautiful spots are down in the southwestern WA around Esperance. Absolutely gorgeous.
So you mentioned Ningaloo, which is one of your favourite spots. What are some of the other favourite spots?
One would definitely be up in the desert, up in northwest WA, around Nalu. The other one would be Bells Beach, my home beach where I grew up as a child. And probably when it's good, I'd have to say Kira or Snapper Rocks. Pretty amazing.
So I know that in the surfing scene there's this thing of having secret spots, right? The secret location. How does one go about cracking the code and finding out where those spots are?
I think it's just by doing the time and researching whether or not you get the inside word of where these places are. But it's probably frowned upon still to try to let these unique places go. Because there's a lot of surfers in the water nowadays. So to try to get that time away and the peace and quiet, it's a pretty special thing. You just probably don't want to let that go.
So when we paddled out this morning, there was a bit of a lull, and then there was a big set. And I was paddling out behind you, and I was actually thinking, geez, Phil, at your age, out here, and it's about 6 foot, it can be quite challenging. And you've been in some situations before that were a little bit like that in big surf. What would you say was the most dramatic one you were in?
I've had a few scary moments in my life, but a few years back I nearly died when I was in Bali, and I had a stroke, a brain aneurysm in the surf, and had to save myself by paddling in, and it was a real reckoning of what life is and what it means to me. So yeah, there's been a few major changes in my life since that point, but surfing's still my go-to to relax and fulfill my life.
Surfing can be a very soulful, spiritual sort of thing for a lot of people. Do you have that sort of connection?
Oh, definitely. I think it's good for mental health, and it's just a good way to clear all those issues of that men do have, their mental anguish, and so it's a good way to cleanse that.
And this is something we need to talk about more, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do. We do. Because Australian men, we're a pretty tough, hardy sort of bunch, and sometimes it's just good just to lend an ear to a mate, and it can make a huge difference to someone's life. It actually could save their life if it was the right time,
So you've put together a bit of a group of you down here in Torquay. Tell us about that.
We've put together a surf contest called the 50-Year Storm, and it's to highlight men's health. And we propose to surf in solid Bells Beach conditions, like in the 10-foot plus range. And it's a charity as well, so we ask people to donate to that charity, and it's just a way to voice our support for men's health.